Good morning. It is it's Tuesday. It is November 20th. Skipped yesterday. Gamed with my buddies after work, of course. Finally remembered to show them what I'd been working on for the next year's Jade Kind Gaming intro logo thing. They didn't like it. But I showed them some of their ideas and fonts and stuff that I'd been looking at, and I got an idea of something maybe to work towards. And it was a big enough change that I'm like, I didn't want to make a change if they're going to look at it and say, nope, that looks silly. Which I guess it did. I just didn't feel silly was as bad as they did. Oh well. Otherwise, this morning, I had a bowl of ramen, did a little bit of editing, and I decided I am going to go see the new Fantastic Beasts movie this morning. Came out here, I think, Friday? Haven't gotten to see it yet. I want to do so. And so I will. And depending on whether I pay for it myself or MoviePass does its job, will determine whether or not I keep MoviePass. So let's go to the theater now. Of course not. Not only will it not let me see Fantastic Beasts, which just came out, it won't let me see Nutcracker or Bohemian Rhapsody, which came out a couple weeks ago. It's garbage. Account details. Plan and billing detail information. Plan cancel. Reason for cancellation is required. Service offerings, I guess. You don't let me see movies. You don't offer any sort of service anymore. If you cancel your account, you will not be able to reactivate your account or start a new subscription for 9 months. Okay. Cool beans. Yeah, you're gonna threaten me. If you go away, you can't come back. Well, good. It's $90 saved, because you didn't do anything for me anymore. Yeah, sure. Yes, it'll remain active for 4 more days, because I've already paid. Very nice, but, just gonna go ahead and cancel it. Yep. There we go. Should be all canceled. Okay, MoviePass is canceled. Fortunately, on Tuesdays, my local movie theater has like $5 movies, so it's not too expensive. I just don't have as much freedom for when to see movies. But it's Tuesday today. I'm gonna go see the movie. When I get back, I'll be discussing Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. So I just got out of the movie. I'll give it 4 out of 5, certainly. And sitting here in my car, I'm going to talk about it. So if you haven't seen it, skip past this. And probably go see it, at least if you've followed the first one. It definitely is a middle film. It suffers that lack of beginning and end. But having, of course, seen the first one, so I've got my beginning there, and knowing that it's not the end of them and that there will be an end, I still quite enjoyed it. It was cool visually. It was so cool. I loved the cat fight, because we get our cool Eastern cat beast, and then we get the familiars in the French Ministry of Magic, the big-eyed cats. It was a short but cool little fight between those. Johnny Depp does an amazing job of being mentally seductive. He plays that role very well. That sort of seducing someone into thinking his way. Definitely, I mean, this story is people take sides. It's introducing a bit of the wider cast, and people take sides. Poor Queenie. It was quick, and you get the feeling that there are things that happened in the 3 years between movies that really set the stage for her decision. Because when she first came on and she has just that first scene, it was like, what's going on here? But you get the feeling like, okay, stuff has happened as she's been wanting to be in a relationship with Jacob, but having to hide it in America because he's a nomad. And so you get the feeling like there's been some weight that she's been bearing. She chose Grindelwald. She chose to follow him. I guess that will make for a more dramatic story overall. Wow. Otherwise, of course, tying things closer between Newt and Tina. That sort of will they, won't they kind of thing. A lot of it is trying to chase down a story that, you know, who are these people? The idea there at the end, that ending. Ooh. I mean, well, in one hand, blow it off as it's nothing. Of course not. We know Dumbledore's past. We know he doesn't have another brother. You know, this can't be who Credence is. But at the same point, all of our knowledge of Dumbledore is secondhand and things like that, so who knows? Most likely, it is just Grindelwald poisoning Credence's mind in order to turn him against Dumbledore and get his way. But we'll see. Visually, above all, I mean, the story was cool, but a lot of it was basically setting a lot of stage for further movies and getting people on the side, sort of setting the scene for what's to come. But they did it in such a visually interesting way. It's beautiful. And I loved seeing Hogwarts again. That felt so good. I loved being back there, even for the just brief times that we were there. Definitely feels like this is a prequel to the movies more than the books, of course. But I mean, that makes sense as it is a movie. But just certain things, though it'll apparate into the grounds of Hogwarts. Well, yes. Couldn't do that in the book world. But in the movie world, yeah, sure, whatever, anything goes. But yeah, it was cool. Jude Law was a great Dumbledore. I don't think he acts a lot these days, but he's good. Certain things are just oh, Miss Rowling, you just can't help but tell the backstories to characters you've used before. Really, Nagini? But it seems silly. But she's got a few more movies, and I'm willing to see what that backstory turns into, how the character develops. Yeah, we'll see. Of course, we get Flamel as well, and a brief glimpse at McGonagall. I do, of course, sit and wonder, wait, did the Lestrange line just end? And if so, where do we get the Lestranges that are further in the story? Because it felt like this was like the ending of the Lestrange line. But I don't think it can be. So hopefully they also address that in the next few movies. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. I enjoyed it. I had fun. It was beautiful. 4 to 5, it wasn't the end of the story. Almost that same kind of feeling I got when I was a kid, and me and my buddies, we all went and saw the first Lord of the Rings movie, and we walked out of the theater, and I just sort of went like, that's cool, but that was a really terrible ending. What happens? No, wait, that's not the end of the story. Difference is, at that point, it had me actually quite upset. I had no concept for what these movies that, like, as a child, like, movies with sequels were like the Batman franchise, where each one was its own story, it completed, and then we had some of the characters come back. No. These are stories that the main plot takes multiple movies to develop. That's what Rowling does. That's what the Harry Potter movies always were. I guess the plot for this movie specifically is the background, the history of the Lestranges and of Credence, and people seeking that out, and Grindelwald collecting his followers. That was this movie's story, but it's just a small part of the overall story. So, looking forward to the next movie, and kind of figuring it's going to be another couple of years, which that's the main part that sucks with it. Is it's like, okay, come on, what's next? What's next? Oh, it's gonna take a while? Drat. But it was fun. Anyways, I'm gonna head home. Hoping to have some fun plans later today as well. Oh, and I loved just as far as like loving up visually and all that. Period piece, again, love it. Fantastic. But yeah, headed home. I get home. I sit down and think to myself, what do I want to work on first? And 30 seconds later, my phone rings, it's Nick, and he's all like, hey, we kind of talked like maybe we'd go out to lunch. Did you want me just to come over? I finished what I was working on. Yeah, sure. So Nick's coming over, and we'll go get lunch. Cool. Going to Golden Corral. It's not too bad for lunch, I don't think. We'll see once we actually tally it up, but see, at $10.50, which is basically the same price as would be at like Chinese. Starting off with some chicken, some sliders, fries, and biscuit with sausage gravy, which I was fine to get on whatever it wanted to go on because it just makes everything better. It really does. And a couple of tacos. I'm having to make very careful decisions as fullness is nearing. One with more things to cover in sausage gravy, mostly. And get some bread pudding. And I am very stuffed, but I think I managed to stop just before that point where stuffed becomes painful. Which is clearly what you want from a buffet, is to be stuffed when you leave, but not in pain. So I had it pretty good today. So I got the Guildmaster's Guide video uploaded, scheduled for Thursday. I have succeeded. It will come out. Today is the day that it comes out in general sales. So I've succeeded in getting it out in a timely manner. Praise God. I did a little change. I'm working on moving a few things around as putting this stack of stuff away. And gonna alter how some things are sitting on the shelves and doing so, of course. Now, I didn't have to do this, but I've been wanting to do this for a while. I moved this big book here. I'm probably gonna try and find another couple to fit in here. And I put the dice box in here just to try and give us some space to actually leave these books upright, which will make grabbing any given book much easier. Of course, wanted to do that for ages. It's not easy. It's like, in general, right now, my thought process is, okay, technically, that is a system-neutral book. What other books can I put over here that technically make sense? And I'm kind of thinking I might as well. I was going through this 5th edition supplement that I got, Gods and Goddesses, a while back, but I just stopped. Unlike, it did not have the issue that the Underworld Races and Classes book had, which was With that one, they just kind of ignored the way 5th edition does things and did their own sort of thing, even if it just breaks the game. This one was just more or less formatting glitches that caused me to lose information in one section. It's at least a very beautiful book. I just ran into that and kind of got disinterested. So I might as well put this on the shelf as well, as it is technically 5th edition. And if I need that information, that was another thing, is it's the kind of information that I'm not likely to use in a game. Really, I backed it because the art was pretty. But yeah, so I got that in there too. And I might grab a couple other things if I can figure it out to fill up some space on that shelf. But otherwise, just trying to basically get the books upright. Not only did I get a few vlogs edited today, and I mean like a few, I got like 3 of them. So, for this evening and the next couple of days already. But I also edited the 11th session video, which should be the last video for this year. You know, again, I got the Guildmaster's Guide video all scheduled for this Thursday. Thank you. I hope it does well. Otherwise, it's starting to get kind of late. I really have like an hour, but my throat is scratchy and kind of painful. So I'm gonna take an ibuprofen and lay down, try and get a bit of extra sleep. Hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow, because yeah, it doesn't feel great. But either way, yeah, I'm basically done for the day. Thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues. Bye.